Bedtime Bliss stories. Before I share a story with all of you, I just wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel, Bedtime Bliss. Your support means everything to me and has allowed me to continue creating new stories and content for all of you to enjoy. I am truly grateful for each and every one of you who has chosen to be a part of my channel's family. Your comments, likes, and shares inspire me to keep pushing myself and creating content that I hope you will love. I know that there are many channels out there to choose from, and I feel honored that you have chosen to be a part of my community. Thank you again for your support and for allowing me to share my passion for storytelling with all of you. Now, without further ado, let's get to the story. I hope it brings you all a sense of peace and relaxation as you drift off to sleep tonight. Take a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and then slowly release it. With each breath, let go of any worries or distractions, and allow your mind and body to relax. Now I will tell you the amazing story about the Water Babies, a magical underwater adventure. Once upon a time, in a small village in England, there lived a young boy named Tom. Tom was a mischievous child, always getting into trouble and causing a ruckus in the village. His parents, who were poor and worked hard to make ends meet, often scolded him for his misbehavior. Despite this, Tom continued to cause trouble and wander around the village, looking for adventure. One day, Tom was wandering near the river when he saw a group of boys playing in the water. He watched as they splashed and swam around, wishing he could join in. But Tom didn't know how to swim, and he was afraid of the water. So he sat on the riverbank, feeling lonely and left out. As he sat there, Tom noticed a strange-looking woman walking along the riverbank. She was old and wrinkled, with a shawl wrapped around her head. Tom had never seen her before, but something about her intrigued him. He got up and followed her, curious about where she was going. The woman walked along the riverbank, humming a strange tune. Tom followed her for a while, until they came to a secluded spot by the river. The woman turned to Tom and smiled. "Are you looking for an adventure, my boy?" she asked. Tom nodded eagerly, excited at the prospect of adventure. "Then come with me," said the woman. She took Tom's hand and led him down to the riverbank. Tom noticed that the water was sparkling and clear, unlike the murky water he was used to seeing in the river. The woman turned to Tom and said, "Jump in the water, my boy, and you'll find adventure beyond your wildest dreams." Tom hesitated for a moment, but then he took a deep breath and jumped into the water. As soon as he hit the water, he felt himself sinking. He struggled to stay afloat, but he soon realized that he could breathe underwater. He looked around in amazement as he saw fish swimming around him, their scales glittering in the sunlight. Tom swam around, amazed at the world he had discovered. He saw sea creatures he had never seen before, including octopuses, jellyfish, and even a friendly dolphin who swam up to him and nuzzled him playfully. Tom was thrilled, and he felt like he had found a new home in the water. As he swam, Tom noticed that his body was changing. He was growing smaller and his skin was becoming soft and smooth. He looked down and saw that he had become a water baby with a tiny tail and gills on his neck. Tom was excited by his transformation, and he continued to explore the underwater world. He met a group of friendly sea creatures who welcomed him to their home. They showed him the coral reefs and the underwater caves, and Tom was amazed at the beauty of it all. As he swam, Tom learned valuable lessons about life. He learned that it was important to be kind to others, even if they were different from you. He also learned that it was important to work hard and to never give up on your dreams. The sea creatures taught him these lessons through their actions and through the stories they told him. One day, Tom came across a group of fishermen who were catching fish in the river. He was saddened by their actions, as he had grown to love the sea creatures he had met. Tom decided to help the sea creatures by freeing them from the fishermen's nets. He swam up to the fisherman's boat and used his water baby powers to untie the nets. The sea creatures swam free, and Tom watched in amazement as they darted away. The fishermen were angry and confused as to how their nets had come undone. Tom knew he had to act quickly, so he used his water baby powers to create a distraction. He made the water splash and ripple, causing the fishermen to lose their balance and fall into the water. The fishermen struggled to swim, and Tom knew he had to help them. Despite their actions, he didn't want to see anyone get hurt. He swam over to the fishermen and used his water baby powers to pull them to safety. The fishermen were shocked when they realized that a tiny water baby had saved them. They asked Tom how he had become a water baby, and he told them about the strange woman he had met by the river. The fishermen were amazed and grateful for Tom's help, and they promised to stop fishing in the river. Tom knew that he had done the right thing, and he felt proud of himself for standing up for what he believed in. He continued to explore the underwater world, making new friends and learning more about life. One day, Tom heard a strange sound coming from the river. It was a faint cry for help, and he knew he had to investigate. He swam towards the sound, and soon he saw a small girl who had fallen into the water. She was struggling to stay afloat, and Tom knew he had to act fast. He swam up to the girl and used his water baby powers to pull her to safety. The girl was scared, but Tom reassured her that she was safe. He swam with her to the riverbank, where he found the strange woman who had turned him into a water baby. The woman smiled and said, "Well done, my boy. You have learned many lessons in the underwater world, and you have proven yourself to be a true hero." Tom smiled, knowing that he had come a long way since his days of causing trouble in the village. He had learned valuable lessons about life, and he had become a better person because of his experiences. The woman turned to the small girl and said, "And you, my dear, have learned a valuable lesson as well. You must never go near the water without supervision, for it can be dangerous." The girl nodded, and Tom knew that he had a new responsibility to look after her and keep her safe. He promised to do so, and the woman smiled approvingly. Tom realized that his time as a water baby was coming to an end. He had learned so much, but he knew that he had to return to his old life in the village. The woman led him back to the riverbank, where he climbed out of the water. As he stood on the riverbank, Tom looked back at the underwater world he had left behind. He felt a pang of sadness, but he knew that he would always carry the lessons he had learned with him. Tom returned to the village, where he was welcomed back by his parents and the villagers. They were amazed at his transformation and his bravery, and they looked up to him as a hero. Tom knew that he had changed, and he was proud of the person he had become. He promised to continue to live his life with kindness and compassion, and to always stand up for what he believed in. And so, Tom's adventures as a water baby came to an end. But the lessons he had learned would stay with him forever, and he would always remember the sea creatures who had taught him the value of kindness and perseverance. In the days that followed, Tom smiled back at her and said, "You're welcome. It's important to be safe around the water." The girl sat down next to Tom, and they watched the river flow together. After a few moments of silence, the girl asked, "Tom, do you miss being a water baby?" Tom thought for a moment before replying, "Yes, I do. It was a magical world, but I had to leave it behind." The girl nodded and said, "I wish I could see that world too." Tom looked at the girl and had an idea. He stood up and said, "Come with me." He led the girl to the river and said, "Close your eyes and make a wish." The girl closed her eyes and made a wish. When she opened them, she saw that the river had transformed into a magical underwater world. The sea creatures that Tom had met were swimming around them, and the water was sparkling with magical light. The girl was amazed, and Tom smiled at her. He said, "This is your wish come true. You can explore this world with me, but we must be careful." They spent the rest of the day exploring the underwater world together, and the girl was amazed by all the magical creatures she saw. Tom was happy to share his experiences with someone who believed him and appreciated the beauty of the underwater world. As the sun began to set, Tom knew that it was time to return the river to its normal state. He said goodbye to the sea creatures and led the girl back to the riverbank. The girl was sad to leave the magical world behind, but Tom said, "Don't be sad. We can visit this world anytime you want. Just close your eyes and make a wish." The girl smiled at Tom and said, "Thank you, Tom. You're the best friend I ever had." Tom felt a warm feeling in his heart. He had found a new purpose in life, and he knew that he could share the beauty of the underwater world with those who appreciated it. From that day on, Tom spent his time exploring the underwater world with the small girl. They became close friends, and Tom was happy to share his experiences with someone who believed in him. Years passed, and Tom grew older. He never forgot his time as a water baby and the lessons he had learned. He lived his life with kindness and compassion, always standing up for what he believed in and helping those in need. On his deathbed, Tom closed his eyes and made a wish. When he opened them, he saw the magical underwater world once again. The sea creatures he had met swam around him, and the water sparkled with magical light. Tom smiled and said, "I'm home." And he swam off into the depths of the underwater world, never to return again. The villagers never forgot Tom and the stories he had told them. They remembered him as the boy who had fallen into the river and become a water baby. Some of them began to wonder if there was any truth to his stories, and they started to explore the river themselves. As they spent more time by the river, they began to notice things they had never seen before. The water seemed to shimmer with a magical light, and strange creatures appeared to swim just beneath the surface. The villagers were amazed by what they saw, and they started to share their own stories with each other. They talked about the beauty of the underwater world and the lessons that Tom had taught them. Over time, the villagers became more connected to each other and to the natural world around them. They realized that the river was not just a source of water, but a living entity with its own magic and wonder. Years passed, and the village grew and changed. But the memory of Tom and the underwater world he had shown them never faded. It became a part of the village's history and culture, passed down from generation to generation. And every once in a while, someone would close their eyes and make a wish by the river, hoping to catch a glimpse of the magical world that Tom had discovered. And although they never knew for sure if they had seen it, they felt a sense of wonder and connection to the world around them. The moral of the Water Babies is to emphasize the importance of kindness and empathy towards all creatures, big or small, and to promote environmental conservation. Through the journey of the water baby, the story teaches that mistreating and polluting the environment can have dire consequences for all living beings, and that we should take responsibility for our actions and their impact on the world around us. The story also teaches valuable life lessons about honesty, hard work, and self-improvement. The water baby undergoes a transformation, both physically and morally, as he learns to become a better person and make amends for his past mistakes. The story encourages us to strive for personal growth and to acknowledge our faults and work towards self-improvement. To apply the teachings of this story in our daily lives, we can start by showing kindness and empathy towards all living beings, whether they are humans or animals. We can also take steps to protect the environment and reduce our impact on the planet by reducing waste, conserving resources, and making eco-friendly choices. Additionally, we can focus on personal growth and work towards becoming better versions of ourselves by acknowledging our mistakes, being honest with ourselves and others, and striving for self-improvement. By incorporating these teachings into our daily lives, we can make a positive impact on the world around us and become better individuals. As the journey comes to an end, take a moment to appreciate all the beauty and wonder you have encountered. And know that you can always return to this place whenever you need a moment of rest and relaxation. Now, let yourself drift off into a deep and peaceful sleep, knowing that you are surrounded by love and the magic of nature. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to see more exciting adventures like this one. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed our Bedtime Bliss stories. If you did, don't forget to like and share this video with your friends and family. Sweet dreams.